Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's match day 17 in the Serie A, and the league could not have been more tighter than this. 9 points difference between the top six teams in the table, and then just 10 points difference separating the bottom 11, and from 9th till 20th, anybody could get relegated at the moment. It is so tight. The table keeps on changing so quickly. Like every weekend, there are so many changes in the table, so it is so tight. I think the only two teams are currently not involved in a relegation sort of fight or in for the title are Bologna and Milan, who are 7th or 8th. Apart from that, like every single team is basically involved in either in a sort of a relegation scrap or the title result. So it's so tight. So it's going to be another exciting weekend. So let's go ahead and make our prediction. The first game, it is Verona versus Milan. It is 17th versus 8th in the table. Now Verona, they have lost 4 out of their last 5 games, but they won last weekend. It was an important win for them. They came out of the relegation zone for the first time in almost a month. So as I said, it was quite an important win for them, and they are going to be in a good mood, quite a good confidence as well coming into this game, playing against a Milan side who unfortunately are not doing any as well. One win in the last 5 games, 3 draws and a defeat as well, and they are to be very honest with you, they are struggling. I'm not gonna be beat around the bush. They are not playing that good, and their form is has not been really that good, and the manager is again under a lot of pressure. They need a good result, and this game could be one of those games where they go ahead and get the result, but I just have a feeling that they are not going to be able to do that. Verona are at home, and as I said, they are the confidence that they would have gotten from a last week's win, I think this is going to get carried on in this game as well, and I think they are going to hold a Milan to a draw, unfortunately for Milan. But I think this game is going to end up in a draw. It's not going to be an entertaining sort of a game in my opinion. I think it will be very tight, but in the end I think it will end up in a 1-1 draw between Verona and Milan. Up next, it's Torino versus Bologna. It is 11th versus 7th in the league. Torino, they won after almost a month last weekend against Empoli. It was, their form has not been quite good, so it was an important win for them against Empoli, and they would hope to, continue to build on that. But they are playing against a Bologna side who are playing a really good football and who are on the right track. 3 wins out of the last 5 games, undefeated in their last 3 games as well, and they are on course. Or to take overtake Juventus in that top 6. They are just 3 points behind Juventus, and they have a game in hand, and they are going to be looking at this Torino game, and they are going to really fancy their chances, and I think they are going to go ahead and get the result in this game as well. Torino, even though they won last weekend against Empoli, I still think they they are quite struggling, if I'm being very honest with you. They are just not able to play the way that they started the season very good, but they have they've had quite a big setback, and they are faltered down, and I think it is going to continue. I think in the end Bologna are going to go ahead and get the 3 points. I think it will be a tight game, but I think Bologna are going to nick it. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Bologna. Then it's Genoa versus Napoli. It is 13th versus 2nd. Now Genoa, they are undefeated in their last 5 games, but the fact of the matter is 4 of them have been draws, including their last 2 games as well. So it's not like they are playing well enough, but they are not just able to get over the line in majority of the games, and that is why they are so low. Otherwise, it's not they are not playing a bad football, if I'm being very honest with you. They are playing against a Napoli side who have lost they have lost their crown at the moment. Like they were top of the league for almost 10 weeks, and they got dethroned by Atalanta last weekend. It was a sort of a good response from Napoli, winning their game against Udinese in a quite a convincing manner, and they would hope to continue that, and I think they are gonna continue their winning ways. Genoa, even though they are undefeated in their last 5 games, I still think they are gonna get defeated. They are gonna face their first defeat in almost more than a month, and I think Napoli are gonna win it easily as well. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Napoli. Then next, it's Lecce versus Lazio. It is 14th versus 5th. Lecce, they are quite inconsistent, if I'm being very honest with you, but their last 5 games, there has been just 1 defeat, 2 wins and 2 draws. So they are racking up the points, and they are trying to get away from this relegation tussle that everybody is involved in at the moment in Serie A. But they are playing against a Lazio side who have defeated, who have lost 2 out of their last 3 games, and they are the reason why Napoli got dethroned, because Napoli lost lost to them. But they lost last weekend against Inter, and it was not a good win. I mean, they basically got humiliated by Inter Milan, 6-0 defeat. Everything went, I don't know what happened until up until the 40 minutes, up until that the first goal was not scored. Everything, it was a balanced game, and then Inter just went and then they basically destroyed Lazio. They really need to come back from that, and I think the pressure is gonna be on them so much. And the fact of the matter is, they are going away to a Lecce side who, as I said, who are they have a good form recently, and they are going to look at it, and they know that Lazio are going to be under a lot of pressure. And I think Lazio are going to draw points in this game just because of what happened to them against Inter. I think that is going to be playing on their minds, and I think Lecce are going to go ahead and take the advantage. I think there are going to be goals in this game, but in the end it will be a draw. I am going for a 2-all draw between Lecce and Lazio. The next game is a Roma versus a Parma. It is a 12th versus a 15th. And now both these teams are not in a good form, if I'm being very honest with you. Roma have won once in their last 5 games, and last weekend they lost their game as well. And then they have won, they won in the Coppa Italia quite convincingly. So they maybe have that confidence coming into this game, playing against a Parma side who are 15, but they are just a point behind Roma. They have won 2 of their last 5 games, but the last 2 games have been defeats. And they know how important this game is. Like, if they could win this game, they can overtake Roma. As I said, just a point difference. So I think it will be a very, very tight game. It will be a very close game as well. But I just don't see a winner out of this game. And I don't want to be too critical. If there is one team who might win it in the end, I think it will be Parma, because I think Roma they are already under so much pressure, and they have played 2 games. They played it over the weekend, then they played the midweek game, and they are playing again. So I think that could hurt them, if I'm being very honest with you. And I think that Parma are going to take advantage of that. But I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going for a 1-all draw between Roma and Parma. The next game is a Venezia versus a Cagliari. It is a huge game. 20th versus 18th. Both teams are in a relegation zone, and both of them are winless in their last 5 games. Even though Venezia have drawn their last 2 games, so you can say they are coming in this game on a bit better form as compared to Cagliari. But this game is so unpredictable. Like, you really don't know which way the game is gonna go, and predicting that it's such a hard thing. If there is I really don't know, to be very honest with you, where which team is gonna win this game, and that is why I'm gonna sit on the fence, if I'm being very honest. I really can't predict this game. It is like a flip of a coin. Anything a team can come and play like a world beater and destroy the other one, and that is why I'm just staying on the fence. I'm going but I think there are going to be goals in this game for sure, and that is why I'm going for a 2-all draw between Venezia and Cagliari. Moving on, it is Atalanta versus Empoli. It is first versus 10th. Atalanta are on a 10-game winning streak in Serie A, almost like a 13-game winning streak if you include all the competition. So they are flying high. They basically humiliated Cesena 6-0 in the Coppa Italia last night. So they are flying high, and it basically nobody can really stop them at the moment. Playing against the Empoli side who have won once just in their last 5 games, and they lost against Torino last weekend as well. That was, in my opinion, quite a surprising result. I thought Empoli were gonna get the job done, but this weekend I just see one winner. I don't think Empoli are gonna be a problem for Atalanta, especially Atalanta, because Atalanta are home as well. So I think they are gonna continue their streak, like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, just like that. Atalanta keep on increasing that, and this week I think Empoli are gonna be the victims of that. I think Atalanta are gonna win, and they are gonna win comfortably as well. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Atalanta. Up next, it's Monza versus a Juventus. It is 19th versus a 6th. Now, if you look on the paper and you look at the name of the teams, you would say that it's an easy win for Juventus, because they are Juventus. But like I don't know what to say about Juventus. For me, it is not working out for Motta. It is not working out for Juventus. They are all over the place, if I'm being very honest with you. Last weekend I predicted an easy win for them against Venezia, and they ended up drawing that game as well. There have been like 10 draws already. They are undefeated, but 10 draws out of a possible 16 games. It is really bad performance from Juventus. I'm being very honest. Last 4 games have been draws as well. They are playing against a Monza side who are not doing that good. If I'm being very honest, like they are 19th in the table, you should expect Juventus to go ahead and get the result. But as I said, they drop points from winning situation, and sometimes they start the game so bad that they are the ones who are chasing it, and they somehow ended up saving the game, but not winning it. So it's really hard for me at the moment to predict Juventus. Logically, I should go for a Juventus win, but last weekend they were home against Venezia and they somehow bottled it. This time they are going to away to Monza, and it's basically going to be the same, that Monza are going to basically park the bus and make sure that Juventus are not able to score, are not able to break them down. And I think Juventus are gonna be hurt in that regard. It's gonna be impossible for them to break them down, and I think they are not gonna be able to do it. And I think we are gonna be given another a draw in this game, and Juventus are gonna make it 11th draw of the season, and we are not gonna get a goal out of this game as well. I'm going for a 0-0 draw between Monza and Juventus. The next game is Fiorentina versus Udinese. It is 4th versus 9th. Fiorentina finally lost, after 7 games at the hand of Bologna last weekend. So they really need to, give out a response to their fans, and they need to make sure that they give out a response to the league as well. That last weekend was a one-off, and they are still at serious challenges for the title, and that they are not, gonna go off quite easily. Playing against an Udinese side who are 9th in the table, and it looks like they have 20 points at the moment. They are so inconsistent, and if you look at the table, you would say that they are 9th and they are safe, but the way that the league is going and how tight the table is, for me they are still in the fear of getting relegated, if I'm being very honest with you. Like they are just at 10 points ahead of the bottom placed Venezia. The other teams have other points as well, so like they are really in that relegation scrap. Nobody can change my mind in that, and a couple of bad results. They have lost their last 2 games as well. So if they lose this game, which I think they are going to do it, they could be further down the table, and they could be right back into the relegation scrap yet again. And I am going for an easy win for Fiorentina. I don't think Udinese are gonna give them a much trouble in this game. I'm going for a comfortable 3-1 win for Fiorentina. And the final game of the Serie A this weekend is Inter versus Como. It is 3rd versus 16th. Inter are undefeated in their last 5 games. 3 of them have been wins, and important wins. They basically destroyed Lazio last weekend, so that would have been a huge confidence booster. They are 3 points behind Atalanta, but they have a game in hand, and they have a better goal difference as well. So they would be feeling really good about themselves. Playing against a Como side who won their 3rd game of the season last weekend. It was an important win that got them out of that relegation zone, but I don't think they are gonna have much luck this weekend playing Inter at the San Siro, and with the way that Inter are in the form that they are in, I don't think there's gonna be any other result apart from an Inter win, and I think it could turn out to be another routing for Inter. I'm going for a 4-0 win for Inter. And with that, my predictions for Matchday 18 in the Serie A are completed. We'll see how many of them I get correct and how many of them I mess up with. 1 point if the entire prediction is correct and the scoreline is correct as well, and half a point if the prediction is correct but the scoreline is not correct. So we'll see how many points I can get in the review video. Let me know what you guys think of the predictions in the comment section below, and do you agree with my predictions? And you can make your predictions as well in the comments section below as well. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 400 subscribers before the end of this year, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.